Welcome back to this fine show. They cracked down on the best player in tennis, but isn't Fauci the real menace? Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from a major tournament after being denied entry into the U.S. because he's not vaccinated against COVID. He'd requested a vaccine waiver, but was rejected by the DHS. The tennis player, who's from Serbia, which is a country, is currently ranked #1 in the world and #2 in my dreams after Mike Lindell. And as a world-class athlete who has antibodies, his chance of getting ill from COVID is the same as me taking Taylor Swift back. Not happening. And as a young pro athlete with antibodies, his chances of sickness are the same as Kilmeade's Amazon reviews. Almost zero.
That was totally unnecessary.
Shut up! The event includes matches in Miami, so Florida Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio wrote a letter to the president reminding him that he himself said the pandemic was over. Although it's not like Biden to forget things, like how to walk upstairs. Meanwhile, House Republicans on a committee probing the pandemic say they've uncovered new emails that show Fauci worked to discredit claims that COVID leaked from a Wuhan lab. Said in February 2020, Fauci prompted researchers to write a scientific paper to disprove the lab leak theory. Then weeks later at the White House, cited that same paper as evidence that the theory was bogus while acting like he didn't know its authors.
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences in bats as they evolve, and the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available to you.
Nice try. Even the bats said, what a load of guano. You know what this is like? You know what Fauci did? It's like a restaurant writing its own Yelp reviews to deny that they poisoned the customers when they did. But bad things happen when you let an unaccountable, unethical blowhard spend decades in government. You end up with global pandemics that kill millions, and worse, forcing us to do a story about tennis. I finally found a sport worse than soccer, Brian.
That is not true. There are two great sports. They have an international quotient to them that you're not familiar with. First off, I didn't know this was the international sign for bat virus. He goes, it's the bat to the bat to the bat to the bat. Everybody knows. So this is like you commissioning Kat or Tyrus to write a review of who is the best late-night talk show host, and being surprised that they name you. And this, to me, is so aggravating. Also, when it comes to tennis, there's nothing safer than playing tennis against somebody vaccinated or unvaccinated.
There's nobody around you.
There's no one around you. You're breathing fresh air. It's on the outside. Who rejected this man? He's got 2 more years at the top of his game. They're denying 2 tournaments, sold-out crowds. This is just I'm embarrassed that this is the government that denies this Serbian, a country, Serbia is, a country, a chance to see their national play here.
Is that what you're embarrassed by? I'm just interested in what you get embarrassed by.
Well, how come you don't listen to what I say?
I listened.
Thank you, Kat.
I listened to what you said, and the answer to who stopped him from coming in was the Department of Homeland Security. So thank God for them to keep us safe from Serbian unvaccinated tennis players. I would say that I was shocked that this department that was created 20 years ago to keep us safe from terrorism has now evolved into doing something completely different and useless rather than just being gotten rid of. But that's not shocking at all.
No, it's not. Should the DHS storm the NFL games to prevent people from spinal cord injuries or from being paralyzed?
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah. No, the irony is our favorite sport is watching people maim each other.
Right.
And we got an administration, Jamie, that's saying no, we must protect what are they protecting? The ball boys? The ball.
I don't. You know what's funny? I was a ball boy for a while, but it was for the.
I was. What an audience. I feel great live at the witch trials
I really
here.
was. I really was. But it was for the wrestling team.
Yeah.
We had to make sure the uniforms were tight enough. This is crazy.
Disgusting.
This is embarrassing. It really is. This guy's a 22-time Grand Slam champion. He should be playing. Back when I was drinking, I was the 22-time Grand Slam champion at Denny's. This is the first time. By the way, tennis always reminds me of my marriage because love equals 0.
You're really leaning into this, aren't you?
Isn't a weird part of this, though? When have you ever heard before getting in trouble for doing a sport for not doing a drug?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got it's like a backwards, I remember when I worked at Arby's, they would,
Is there a punchline to that? Because you could stop there.
I know, the setups are killing tonight. But when I worked at Arby's, they would drug test us, and if there was even a tiny bit of marijuana in your system, they would let you keep your job. And insanity, though. Let them play.
Yeah, Vivek, last word. You're a big tennis fan. So
I'm a big tennis fan.
How do you feel about this? If you were president, would you issue an executive order and say, free the Serb?
I would do what a chief executive does, is if an employee isn't doing their job, you fire him. Start with Anthony Fauci or the likes of him. If you run the federal government, they work for you. You don't work for them. And so I'd get rid of these civil service protections so we don't have to deal with the likes of him ever again over the course of this. And the thing about Djokovic, it makes me mad is, you know what? He played here in New York City in 2021. Wherever you are in the debate, COVID was worse then. You had vaccines for 9 months. And yet now, after the pandemic is over, years after it's irrelevant, now it's a virtue signal. So it actually has about as much to do with COVID as the Spanish Inquisition had to do with Christ, which is to say nothing at all. It is a toxic religion. And you know what? Good for Novak Djokovic. He's at least standing his ground. You know what? He's losing Grand Slams, but he is the man for doing it. Yeah.
What were you thinking about when he was talking?
I was thinking about, I can't believe I'm doing a segment on tennis.
That's exactly what I thought you were thinking.
Yeah, you know that.
Tennis is good, man.
You're
tennis
nodding rapidly.
Tennis is fun, when you got nothing to do.
Oh, come on.
Greg, I'm with you. I got tennis elbow from changing the channel from tennis.
The best part about tennis is smelling new balls.
I was a ball boy, actually.
You were a ball boy?
I actually was a ball boy, so yeah, we didn't smell too many of them.
Yeah. No, they smell great. They do. Remember, you'd open up the thing?
Fresh.
Yeah, fresh. Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a drug.
Right.
It's like a drug.
When's the last time you did that?
New work week.
You know what?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.